Do you need to be a man to be the best rally driver? Not really. You just need some unparalleled skill, some determination, and be a little bit fearless. That's Michèle Mouton for you, the woman who not only conquered Pikes Peak Hill Climb, but also our hearts, shattering stereotypes and blazing a trail for the generations to come. You know that feeling you get when a name just hits you? Like a punch to the gut? In the world of racing, there aren't many names that can do that. But man, Michèle Mouton was different. Michèle, also known as the Black Volcano, was born in 1951 in Grasse, France. She didn't initially display any interest in racing. Well, besides stealing her father's Citroën 2CV and racing it on gravel country roads when she was just 14 years old. Then a couple of years later comes the usual love story. You know, girl meets boy. Boy takes girl to a rally in Monte Carlo, first as just a spectator, then as co-pilot and navigator. Well, as in any love story, the father didn't approve. Told his daughter that if she wanted to keep participating in rallies, she should do it by driving. He sold some of his possessions, used all his savings, and bought her one of the best cars of his era, the Alpine Renault A110. Oh, and he also gave her a year to prove herself. Well, that was enough for Michèle to prove her talent, securing a 12th place in the 18th Tour de Corse rally, and going on to become both French and European ladies champion. Obviously, people were skeptical about a woman performing so well. Even rumors about a modified and illegal engine began spreading hastily, but a WRC inspection of the car confirmed it was simply skillful driving. Following her debut, Michèle finally put herself under the spotlight by winning at Le Mans of 1974 with her all-female team in a Moyne LM75. Her brave driving caught the eyes of some execs at Elf, landing her first sponsorship. It started to rain, I remember, and I started to pass everybody. I was running on slicks. In the putts, they were saying, "Michèle, you must stop." But I didn't want to because I was passing everyone, said Michèle. The next step in her career came in 1977, when she signed with Fiat to drive the 131 Abarth, which according to Michèle, handled like a big truck, not a car. But even that didn't stop her from winning the Tour de France rally. Then in 1980, bad news came from Fiat. They couldn't support more than 5 cars, so Mouton was cut from the team. But in a last attempt, she managed to borrow a Lancia Stratos from Bernard Darniche. Funny thing is, he was very hesitant about a woman driving his car as she might break it. She didn't. She instead placed 7th, the best of all the Lancias. Guess what, though? Bernard lived to regret his words just a couple of months later in September, when he managed to overheat and blew his engine. That's karma for you. Another year has passed, and Michèle got an offer from none other than Audi. They offered her a ride for the next season. The new Audi Quattro, the 300 GP, all-wheel drive beast, was something never before seen in the world of rally. It took a year and a rude comment from Ari Vatanen for her to become even more of a legend. "Never can nor will I lose to a woman," said Vatanen. Apparently, Michèle didn't hear that as she went on to win her first WRC event at San Remo. Sadly, the following year wasn't easy on Mouton. During the Côte d'Ivoire Marathon Rally, she received a message stating that her father had passed. His last wish was for her to take part in the event and do her best. Sadly, due to possibly being distraught by the recent news, Michèle crashed 600 kilometers before the finish line, an unlucky moment that cost her the victory. In the end, the winner of that event was Walter Röhrl, becoming the first driver to win 2 titles in a row. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. The next chapter in Michèle's life was the infamous Group B era. Still running with Audi, she became a monster behind the wheel of the Quattro. But it wasn't only rallying she was interested in. In 1985, Michèle took on the daunting task of conquering Pikes Peak. At the time, the race was relatively unknown outside of North America. But don't get me wrong, those who knew about it also knew how crazy you had to be to compete in it. Driving the iconic Audi Sport Quattro S1, Mouton faced not just the challenge of the mountain, but also the skepticism of a sport not used to professional female drivers. The preparation was intense. Mouton and her team worked tirelessly to fine-tune the Audi, ensuring it could handle the extreme conditions of the climb. The car, equipped with a powerful turbocharged engine and advanced four-wheel drive system, was a beast designed for one thing, and one thing only: pure domination. But Pikes Peak was unpredictable, with its rapidly changing weather and treacherous terrain. The days leading up to the race were filled with tension and anticipation. Mouton, known for her meticulous approach and unwavering focus, spent hours studying the course, memorizing each twist and turn. Her determination was palpable, driven by a desire not just to win, but to prove that she belonged in the Hall of Fame. Race day arrived, and the atmosphere was just electric. You could almost feel the static in the air. As Mouton lined up at the start, all eyes were on her. The roar of the Audi's engine was deafening as she launched off the line, accelerating into the first of many challenging turns. The climb was going to be hard, with hairpin bends, sheer drops, and the ever-present danger of changing conditions. But Mouton's driving was masterful. She navigated the course with a blend of aggression and precision, pushing the Audi to its limits. As she climbed higher, the air thinned, and the challenges grew more intense. Yet Mouton remained unfazed, her focus razor-sharp. The crowd watched in awe as she tackled each section of the course with remarkable skill. When she crossed the finish line, the time was astounding: 11 minutes and 25.39 seconds. Michèle had not only won the race, she became the best, smashing all records before her and becoming the first woman to conquer Pikes Peak. In 1986, Michèle landed a sweet ride with Peugeot. They had a super-fast new car, the 205 TAL16, and it was a perfect match for her. She tore up the German Rally Championship, winning a whopping 6 out of 8 races. This made her the first woman ever to win a major rally championship, a huge accomplishment. Sadly, tragedy struck the sport that year. A terrible crash involving driver Henri Toivonen happened during the Tour de Corse rally. It affected Michèle deeply, and with the dangerous Group B cars being phased out, she decided it was time to hang up her racing helmet. This marked the end of her competitive rallying days, but her love for rally racing never died. Today, Michèle holds a prestigious position with the FIA, the governing body of motorsport. She's basically the boss lady overseeing the World Rally Championship, the very world she once dominated. And guess what? No other woman has come close to matching her incredible feat.